There's going to be a tremendous reaction when Roman comes back, when Roman is a babyface. And if they want to drag that out for all the terrible stuff that Roman did under his reign, no pun intended, yeah, no one should be running to Roman's side, whether it's Jimmy or Jay or people accepting him in the locker room as a babyface. The fans will. The fans don't care because he's Roman, and what he did was great, and it was dominant, and fans will appreciate dominance. Roman's going to be super over. They're going to they have months and months of Roman versus this version of they can do all kinds of stuff with that has nothing to do with the WWE Championship. I got asked in the Reddit AMA I did about Roman as a babyface versus Cody as a babyface. And I'll say exactly what I said there. The Roman babyface run initially was forced down our throats. And people could see it a mile away. It did okay. It didn't do the business it should have because it wasn't done correctly. And he should have turned the night after he beat Taker. The promo he cut was the guy we saw hold the championship for 4 WrestleManias. That guy. We saw it. But they didn't do it. And then he got, leukemia came back, and he went away. And when he came back, I don't think people were going to boo him. I think people were happy to see him back. And he was on his way back to the Universal Championship, and he bowed out before that WrestleMania. He goes away, and he comes back, and he's the heel, and that's the run. He had to have the, I don't want to say failed, underwhelming, at least from a box office standpoint, babyface run to have the heel run he had, to have the babyface run he'll have when he comes back. It just has to happen. You just got to get that good. You got to get that dominant, and people need to miss you, and they miss him. And we've talked about that on this show. They miss Roman Reigns. That Joe, that guy is cool. Came across that way. It's why you see that male demographic all doing this in the crowd. There's people who rode with Roman the whole way. I don't care who you're throwing him. That's my guy. I am backing that guy. He beats everybody. It's not rooting for the underdog. People love dominance. Roman, there's that presence, or it gets completely overused. You can complain about how he came back. You know what, though? You watch the crowd. You watch the numbers that does on social. You look at the ratings. Roman was bringing all that stuff as a heel. As a heel. The Roman babyface run? My goodness. And to get back to the question, there was one in the chat here from John. There was one I took. Babyface Roman, babyface Cody at the same time. We are in Rock Austin territory, just in terms of reactions. I would love to know how Cody feels about that. Genuinely. How does he feel about that? Because it is a very fair question to ask. If Roman Reigns, as a babyface, as a super duper babyface, as the babyface that company always wanted him to be, will that overshadow Cody Rhodes? Who goes where come January? Who's on what show? Cody's over here. Roman's over here. If they're on the same show, it'll be very interesting. And I'm not telling you it's going to hurt Cody Rhodes, because it's not. But it will change the dynamic. Cody will still sign a ton of weight belts. Cody will still shake a lot of hands and make a lot of little kids happy and make a lot of his fans happy. That will never change. He has cultivated that fan base, and I give him credit for that. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit. But the Roman babyface run that's coming, it has a chance to be an all-timer. It is going to make that company so much money. But he's got to, and I don't need to give Roman Reigns tips. That first run, I don't want a hint of that first run. I don't want suffering succotash. I don't want him. I like the guy we saw for the last 3 years. You respected that Roman Reigns because you had to. That's what he needs to be. And much like Jey Uso dealt with on Monday Night Raw when Cody got him over there, Roman should have to deal with the repercussions of his actions. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I'll tell you what, if you want to make sure he still has an edge, you have him acknowledge that. I can't ask for help. I know what I did to keep that title. I did everything I could to keep that championship because I know what that means. There's a way to take all of his actions and get a really good babyface promo out of it. A really good one. If I didn't do it, someone else would have. Did I make enemies along the way? Hell yeah, I did. I'm the WWE champion. That's what comes with the territory. And he can acknowledge that the fan, I still heard a lot of you were still with me, and I appreciate that. He doesn't have to be talking about not being proud of what he did. You know what? I grew up in this business. I know what it takes to stay on top of this business, and I did that. I can't have remorse about that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been champion as long as I was. If I had remorse, I'd be weak. I don't have that remorse. But I also expect people to have long memories, and I can respect that. I can respect anybody who got in our way during my reign to not want to be around me, to not want to have my back. And how could I ask him for that? I can do this on my own. That's the kind of guy he needs to be. He needs to acknowledge that he was a power-hungry, do anything at all cost champion. He needs to acknowledge that. And I think the fans will be with it because they're still chanting his name right now. But in that vein, he needs to know and acknowledge no one's going to have his back. That's the cost of business. I understand that. I knew that when I was champion. I knew when I lost that championship, things were going to change. He doesn't even have to talk about Cody. It's just about him. I went home, I reflected. I'm back now. There's things I'm back for. My bloodline I'm back for. But I know because of what I did as champion, I got to do this alone. I wasn't trying to dig a grave. I was trying to build a mountain. I built that mountain. That mountain has crumbled a little bit. And the pieces that I built that mountain with, they're not here anymore. And the bodies I stepped over, they're not going to reach out their hand to help me. And I understand that. That's the price of business. That's the price of being a champion. I know that. I understand that. I'll have to do things differently now. Fans will respect a promo like that. And if he talks about focusing on family first before the WWE Championship, you save that Cody match. Because I think there's a heel Cody babyface Roman match that's going to headline WrestleMania someday. Because it should. Cody ticks where he's at. Few notches the other way into the heel side. It wouldn't be that hard. You ride the hell out of this current Cody babyface run. You get absolutely everything out of it you can. You don't make that turn anytime too soon. But when you do, you got one hell of a heel on your hands. And I'd put Brandy right by his side. They are wrestling's royal family. And he can play that up in a very big way. And down the road, the baby face that WWE always wanted Roman Reigns to be versus the heel Cody Rhodes. Oh, boy. To have that in your back pocket and have no reason to get to it. My voice even cracked talking about it. Have no reason to get to that anytime soon, but know you have that. Oh, my goodness. People would kill. Bookers would kill. Companies would beg to have that waiting for them with no reason to rush to it. That Cody Roman match, when the dynamics are flipped, it's going to be massive. It's going to be absolutely massive. Hey, this is Matt Camp. Thanks for checking out one of our recent clips from the wrestling mat. Why is someone so close to The Rock kind of throwing Cody under the bus?
Yeah, a lot of people won't engage with Jim Cornette. I did, just because I have a mark for Jim Cornette.
Please subscribe right now. Hit the like and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I think you should listen to your TV partners. Let me tell you about WWE and a little insight. More subscribers means more content. And make sure you follow us on social media at WrestlingMat23 on both Twitter and Instagram.